Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So let us now see the carpal tunnel. So in order to identify the carpal tunnel, the volunteer sitting across the table, his shoulder is in forward flexion, elbow extended, forearm supinated and palm facing up. Now I'm using a frequency of 20 megahertz. And in order to scan the proximal carpal tunnel, you need to identify the scaphoid and the pisiform, because this is the place, if you'll put your probe in the short axis, you will be exactly there at the entry point of the carpal tunnel. So how to identify the scaphoid tubercle? So that is, it's a bumpy thing which is present just beneath this thenar eminence, and it moves, with the ulnar and the radial deviation of the hand. Second thing is this bumpy thing which is present on the ulnar side. So that is the pisiform bone. So once you have identified these two, you put your probe in the short axis with the aspic marker towards the lateral side. So once we are going to do that, we will be able to see something like this. Okay. So this is the pisiform bone. So that is the ulnar nerve, ulnar artery. This is the median nerve. This is FPL, and that is your FCR. That is the scaphoid. Okay. So ulnar nerve, ulnar artery, median nerve, FPL, and this is your FCR. If you can nicely see here, there is something which is going like this. Okay. So that is your flexor retinaculum, which forms the roof of the carpal tunnel, and it forms the floor of the Guyon's canal. Now there is a mnemonic to remember the structures which are present outside the carpal tunnel, but on the ulnar side of it. Mnemonic is AUNT. Okay. So where A stands for the ulnar artery, UN stands for the ulnar nerve, and T stands for the FCU tendon, which will be on the top of the pisiform bone. Okay, so T is for tendon, tendon of FCU, UN is for the ulnar nerve, and A is for the artery. Now, what you are seeing here on the radial side, that is your FPL, and I will be showing you how exactly with the dynamic, flexion of the DIP of your thumb, you will be able to identify this very nicely. Rest all, we have the flexor tendons, that is FTS and FTP. Now you're not able to see them very nicely. It is because the beam of my probe was not perpendicular to this structure of our address. The moment we are going to toggle our probe, we will be able to see them nicely. So again, one by one, we will identify them. So again, that was the pisiform bone. Okay. Then the ulnar nerve, pisiform bone, the ulnar nerve, the ulnar artery. And once you will toggle your probe little more, you will be able to see now this is the flexor retinaculum. Okay. It is hypoechoic here because again, my beam is not perpendicular. Okay. So now you can see it. So that is the flexor retinaculum. Okay. Flexor retinaculum on the radial side, it splits up to enclose the FCR because FCR will be lying in its own osteofibrous tunnel. Now, once you come to this side, this is your median nerve, which we are looking at. And in order to identify the FPL, right? So that is your FPL. How can you identify it? You can identify it by just flexing So look for the movement by flexing the DIP of the thumb. Okay. So that is the FPL. And if you go more towards the radial side, you will be able to see the FCR. Okay. And is the scaphoid. Now, once you have identified this, now you can toggle your probe nicely and you can look for the flexor tendons. Okay. So now what was appearing hypoechoic, all these tendons, the moment you will toggle your probe, they will again assume the echo texture of hyperechoic cluster dot-like appearance, right? So that finishes the demonstration of the carpal tunnel. Thank you so much for watching.